What's up, people? I am back for another video. Today I'm reviewing a movie my friend Steve recommended me, Wedlock with Hauer. Never saw this one. I don't even think I've ever heard of this movie. And pretty much, I like it. It's an interesting role for Hauer, because one, he's usually a bad guy. There's only one film where he's he's a hero, but largely he's a bad guy. But in this, he basically played. I wouldn't call him I'm not gonna use the word cuck, but he gets screwed over by his girlfriend, and his girlfriend, because he's a diamond thief, who ends up getting turned on by his girlfriend and best friend or fiance, whatever you want to call her. Then he goes to jail for 12 years, and I love that in this jail, the prison he goes to, they try this experimental brace necklace, or whatever you want to call it, collar. Sorry, collar is a better word. And it basically, if you're separated from whoever your partner is in prison, it blows up. I like the premise. So it's an interesting little premise. And basically, something happens. The person he's paired with, Tracy, they both get out, and basically he has to try to get the diamonds back while being stuck to Tracy. So it kind of becomes not a buddy cop, they're not cops, but a buddy film in general. And I actually thought they had really good chemistry. It's a fun little flick. It's only an hour and a half. It's on YouTube. And simple little story, and that's it. It's one of those, it's going to be one of those reviews, I'll admit. I'm not going to go overanalyze, because it's a very simple plot. Yeah, basically they have to try to get the diamonds back, and they end up confronting the girlfriend, and yada yada. I love the way it ends too, because the girlfriend even turns on Sam, who's the boyfriend. She even ends up killing him and going with he's the guy who runs the prison, you see throughout at least the beginning half of the film. And the way it ends with fucking Howard putting a bomb in the fucking briefcase with the money, and just blows them both up. And yeah, it's an awesome little flick. I definitely will watch it again. It's simple. Sometimes a film, that's all it needs to be. It doesn't need to be anything crazy, just something simple. So out of 10, I'd probably give it a 8 out of 10. I'd probably give it 8. Yeah, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. But other than that, tomorrow, I will be reviewing Across the Spider-Verse. It'll be spoilers. I'll eventually do the first one at some point. But I figured, why not, since I watched it the other day. And I already had planned other videos. That's why I didn't review it earlier this week. But I'll be reviewing that tomorrow. Spoilers and all. And I'm going to say, even though, and I'll even preface this, I fucking hate Miles. I do not like Miles. I have never been a Miles fan. To me, Peter Parker is the only Spider-Man. But, if turning that off, or at least putting that aside for a second, it's an objectively good film. So I'll be talking about that. But I can't wait till Friday, though. I really want to talk about Lost World. I really love that movie, and I really want to defend it. Honestly, and also, I'm going to add this video. Sunday, I just realized, is the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park, June 11th. So what I might do, I know I said I was going to do the wrestling video. I might postpone that for maybe this coming week or next week. So instead of doing that Sunday, I'll be doing why I love, because I've been kind of planning on this for a month. I just didn't know what June 11th was, what day June 11th was going to be. But because it's the 30th anniversary, I kind of figure it makes sense to talk about why Jurassic Park means so much to me. Not necessarily, it's not going to be a review of the movie, because I did that forever ago. But it'll be more of why I love it, and why I hold it so dear to me. So, kind of video from the heart. Well, granted, all my videos are like that, but kind of wanted to do that. So the top 10 wrestling matches I'll probably do next week instead of this week. I really want to. Because I didn't realize June 11th was going to be on Sunday. I thought it was maybe going to be sometime next week, but no, it's on Sunday. So instead of that, I'll be doing that video. The top 10 wrestling matches I'll do on another day. I'll still try Sunday before I get started on the review. to try to do my top 10 88 videos also, so we can have 88 movies, sorry. 1988 movies done, so I can get to 89 next Monday. So, other than that, let's get fucking started here. And I love how basically the film kind of gets started immediately. Basically, uh, Frank basically his girlfriend Sam, well, his fiance Sam, and Sam's the guy. Never mind. Noelle, I think, is the girl. Is they're jewel thieves, diamond thieves, trying to break into this building and steal some diamonds. And during this, Sam, his best friend, shoots Frank. Also, while Noelle calls the police, basically leaving him to be found at the scene. They never found the diamonds, but basically they found him at the scene, so he gets arrested for 12 years. And man, Frank goes through some shit in this prison. One thing I do like, they do try to make it seem like he's in prison for a while, because he goes through so much. Before they even put, like, on these, like, basically explosive collars, he gets, like, fucked up in prison. Like, everyone just beats the shit out of him. Like, my God. Like, Rutger Hauer, I think that's why it's a different role, because he's kind of in a way, a whipping boy. He gets beat up a lot. So, like, I'm not gonna lie, he gets beat up a fucking lot in this movie. Like, especially in the prison sequence, like, when they're in the prison, like, dude, he gets his ass kicked. So, but he does make a friend in prison, though, so I thought that was kind of cool. But, so basically the program is, if you're partnered with this person, you have to stay together. If any of the person separates, both collars will trigger and blow up. So I thought that was I mean, it's a cool concept. I mean, so it's not necessarily original, but it's cool. But while he gets paired up with Tracy, but then like it's either like a prison riot or basically something happens to where Tracy and Frank, I said Warren. I think it's Frank. I thought it was Warren. But yeah, Frank and her escape, and basically they have to try to get the diamonds back. That's basically the rest of the movie, and I think Frank and Tracy have great chemistry. I love because the thing is, like, and I'll jump ahead a little, like way ahead, just mention this. It ends with them kissing, so basically it implies that they become a thing. I love that they don't spend the whole movie trying to make them a couple. It does feel like, in a way, a buddy film, because they do feel more like partners than like a couple. I like that. It's natural. I kind of like, that's how, to me, you should build a couple, where you don't spend the whole movie trying. And I'm not necessarily saying you can't have a movie where you do try to make them a couple from time to time, but I do like it when it's subtle like that. Like, they don't spend the whole movie trying to make them a couple. They do feel like they have like a camaraderie, and then it ends with them kissing. Like, okay, yeah. So overall, is this an awesome story? I thought they had great chemistry together. So they basically confront. So it turns out, Frank stashed the diamonds. So they go to the place. I'm just kind of jumping because it's a very quick movie. Like, meaning, like, very much it's this happens and this happens. It doesn't. There's not a lot of setup, which I'm cool with that in this instance, at least. I'm kind of cool. It goes. So Noelle and Sam confront them. We get kind of like a big shootout, and a big kind of like fight in the end, where Frank knocks over, beats up Sam, and then it kind of knocks him into like this thing. And I think because Noelle's about to shoot Frank kind of drops down with Sam. And Frank basically uses Sam as a body cushion, because Noelle shoots down and basically turns on Sam. So basically, they both got fucked. And I even like fucking Frank even makes a joke like we both got fucked over. So Frank manages to escape with Tracy, but then they are forced. This is where throughout the film, the guy who runs the prison, he's a famous, he's like I've seen that actor in like a lot of fucking movies. But I thought he was good in this for the little bit we see of him. But he's kind of like, I guess, somewhat the villain. I would say the girlfriend, Noelle, or ex fiance, I think she's arguably the true villain of the movie, but definitely she's unlikable. Like, I do think they do a good job making her like you want her to get hers. You know, you can't wait, like, I want this bitch to get hers. So I think they got a really good actress to play that part. So they then force Frank and Tracy to give them the money and kind of hold them at ransom, and they have like an explosive rigged, and Frank stashes. You kind of see it; they don't see it, but you see Frank stash it in one of the suitcases, and but then she pushes the button, you know, when he's in the helicopter, and the helicopter explodes, and then she explodes. And then she kisses, you know, we get a kiss between Tracy and Frank, and that's like it. I like that. Like how they make them a couple without kind of like forcing it throughout the movie and spending like a whole subplot trying to make them a thing. They just did it naturally. You know, because they connected throughout the film. And I thought they really did show that, but in a subtle way. I think I kind of want, if you're going to do love stories, I kind of want more love stories like that, where you're not shoving it in the whole movie, where you're not, let's spend like a 30-minute subsection on this love story. So, overall, I really like this movie. I'm definitely happy Steve recommended me this. Rutger Hauer's a great actor. I really think he showed his versatility. Because, yeah, he's usually the bad guy, or, you know, in Split Second, that monster movie he did, I really like that one too. He was like a badass kind of cop, like, you know, the hothead cop. So he showed he could play versatile roles. Yeah, generally he is a bad guy. I mean, Blade Runner, that's probably his most famous bad guy role. But I really liked him in this. I thought he showed, like, the fact that he played a character, yeah, he gets beat up a lot, but it works. And it's a fun, but like the chemistry between Tracy and Frank works. I think they have genuine chemistry. The actress who plays Noelle, you wanted her to get hers in the end. Like, you couldn't wait for her and Sam to get theirs. You know, that's the one thing I like, movies like that where someone gets fucked over, the person who did the fucking over. I always can't wait for them to finally get their comeuppance. That's always a thing in these movies that I always love. So overall, I fucking like this movie. I know I didn't really analyze it like that because it's not that kind of movie. It's very straightforward. It's only an hour and a half. I kind of miss movies like that. They're just straightforward. This is the movie. Not overly complicated. Very simple. Man gets fucked over by a fiance and former best friend. They set him up and he goes to prison for 12 years, and then he has to get out with this girl Tracy because if they get more than, like, I think it's 100 yards or something like that from each other, they blow up, and they basically have to do a lot of, and I think the comedy's actually well done too. It's not like, you know, I always talk about this when I talk about like old movies, especially when it comes to comedy, like how, you know, especially because a lot of comedy just now is just this forced bullshit where it's, you know, we got to spam a joke at you. I really thought the humor in this it worked. It was solid. Like having the jokes about them separating, it worked. You know, between Frank and fucking and Tracy. So I definitely love this movie. So that's really all I can say. I would watch it again for sure. Cross Spider-Verse review tomorrow. Can't wait to talk about that. Kind of get my quick thoughts on that. I actually originally wanted to do this video on Sunday, but I had already planned another video to do Sunday. I had to go in on that cringe Screen Rant article, so I figured I already said I was going to do that video, so we'll just stick to that day. So I'll just push Across the Spider-Verse to tomorrow. So I'll be talking about that. But other than that, I genuinely enjoyed this one. Wedlock's great. It's on YouTube, so it's only 30 minutes. 30 minutes. It's only an hour and a half. Wrecker Hauer's great, so that's really all I can say. Came out in 91. Yeah. So, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Yeah. Eight out of 10. But I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace.